Attention Gen X, are you looking to retire comfortably? Can I ask you something? Have you ever ended the day completely exhausted and still felt like you didn't actually get ahead? That's one of the biggest lies a lot of people are living in right now. They think that busy means productive. It doesn't. Busy just means you are doing something. Productive means you are building something that can move your life forward. And those are not the same thing. Look, a lot of good people get up early. They work all day, they handle problems, answer messages, they pay bills, they run errands, they take care of family, and then they collapse into bed at the end of the night feeling worn out. But after all that effort, they look around and they realize nothing's really changed. The stress is still there, the bills are still there, the pressure is still there, and retirement still feels way too close for comfort. That's because being busy often means you're stuck in a cycle of trading time for income. You show up, you work, you get paid. Then you do it all over again. And the hard part is this: the second you stop working, the income usually stops as well. That's not real progress. That's survival with a schedule. Now, productive is different. Productive means you're spending time creating something that can keep working even when you're not. Something that keeps moving in the background. Something that doesn't depend on you being on every single day, right? Something that gives you a chance to finally stop living in reaction mode. Because let's be honest, you can be exhausted every day and still not be getting ahead. Now, I know that line hits hard because it's true. There are people who are tired all the time, but they're not building anything that gives them more freedom. They're just maintaining a life that keeps demanding more from them: more time, more energy, more sacrifice, more stress. And for a lot of Gen X, that's exactly the trap. Okay. You were taught that if you worked hard, stayed loyal, and kept grinding, things would eventually work out. But a lot of people are finding out that hard work by itself is not the problem. The real problem is where the hard work is going. Okay. Is it building something for your future, or is it only helping you survive one more month? Now, that's the question more people need to ask themselves, because staying busy can actually make you feel productive when you're really just stuck. Look, think of it like this: like you're running on a treadmill, you're moving, you're sweating, you're tired, but you're still in the same place. And that's why this matters. Now, the goal is not to become lazier. The goal is to become smarter with your effort. You don't need more chaos. You need better direction. You don't need to fill every second of your day. You need to spend part of your day building something that can eventually give you your time back. That's what really matters. Now, that's where real change starts. It starts when you stop asking, how can I work harder? And start asking, how can I build something that works even when I'm not? That shift changes everything, because once you understand the difference between busy and productive, you stop glorifying exhaustion. You stop wearing burnout like a badge of honor. You stop telling yourself that being worn out means you're winning. Sometimes being worn out just means the system you're living in is taking everything from you and giving very little back. And that's not the life that most people want. They want more time, more peace, more control, more room to breathe, more freedom to actually enjoy the life that they're working so hard for. That's why building something automated matters. Not because people are lazy, but because they're tired of always having to be on. Okay? They're tired of feeling like if you miss one day, everything falls behind. They're tired of working harder without seeing any real movement. And maybe that's where you are right now. Maybe you're responsible. Maybe you work hard. Maybe you do everything you're supposed to do. But deep down, you know this pace can't be the answer forever. That's not weakness, guys. That's awareness. And awareness is where things change. So here's the takeaway: Busy keeps you occupied. Productive moves you forward. Busy drains you. Productive builds for you. Okay? Busy fills your day. Productive changes your future. Now, look, if you're tired of always being busy but never feeling ahead, maybe it's time to start looking at a different path. A path where your effort actually builds something. A path where 2 focused hours can do more for your future than another day of running in circles. Now, if that's the kind of life you want to start building, click the link in my bio, take a look what I'm doing, because if you're tired of always being on, it's time to build a business that works when you don't.